I was Navy. I did 20 years. I was a cook. They're called culinary specialists now. I was working at a migrant camp here in El Paso. I happened to meet a lot of people that were military, ex-military, retired military and all that. The first thing they would ask me is, how much disability are you getting? And I would always say none. And then they would ask me why. I've never done anything about it. They told me to go to the VA. So I went to the VA and I spoke to a gentleman at the VA for disability. And again, he asked me, how come I've never applied? And I said, I just never applied. He's the one that actually helped me get started. And then we did all the paperwork and we did everything that we had to do. And we sent it in. And within 3 months that I had been approved for 80% disability. And what surprised me was that, I've heard a lot of horror stories that people waited years and years and years and years or they had a hard time. And I just, like I said, it took me 3 months at the most. And then I got this letter that I had been approved for 80%. The way I heard about you was one of the gentlemen that was there. He was going through you people to help him, I guess, with his VA. So that's how I heard about you. So he gave me the number and I called and we just started talking and I wasn't sure if it was legit or it wasn't legit. I've seen a lot of the Facebook. There's all kinds of companies that do this, but I decided to talk to you. That's probably the best decision I ever made. Besides getting married and joining the Navy, I started talking to you folks. And then we went from there. It's been so easy. You guys have been wonderful. Whenever I need something or whenever me and my wife had questions, my wife always had 101 questions. We would call and they would answer all her questions, and I appreciate that. So we went through the process. We said, okay, we'll go with you folks. And we went through the process, and so we've been doing that right now. And then maybe a couple of weeks ago, we got a letter that we had gone up to 90% now. We were very happy because, like I said, we've heard a lot of horror stories that people, I don't know if they try to do them themselves, go through this process, but I went with the Trajector and it's been so easy. This process has been so easy. We're just glad that we started there and we kept there and like I said, you guys have been super, super, super nice. And every time we call or we have a question, we'll call and we get an answer and then they'll answer our questions and we go from there.